Okay. So in the previous session, we had seen that what is the class, what is the object, and then after that, how to define the variables within the class, what are the format strings for the class, and also we have declared the functions. Okay. So in this today's session, we will move further. So in the last sessions, I have considered that this constantity means that whatever the data that we have written within this particular function, that will be constant. This means that these functions will not change the data stored in a thinking cap. Okay. So now, okay, so function bodies could be elsewhere. We can able to define it here also, exactly below this also. Okay, I can able to define those bodies here also, but I can declare it outside the class rules with the help of a scope resolution operators. That how we can able to define that we will see afterwards, but I can able to just consider that since this is a prototype class, this is the first class, so we are not going to see this much in depth. Okay. So now next. Okay. So basically the documentations. So whatever the data which I have written, so this I don't need to write it again and again. Then at that time, what I do, I will just make it as a header file. Thinker.h नाम से एक file create करेंगे, and that file will have all these contents, and those contents will be given at the header like this. Okay, hash include thinker.h. This is nothing but the file. Whenever I am calling this, then at that time, what sorry, whatever the data which I have written here, okay, all the data which I have written within this particular file will be accessible within this particular file. This is the next file or the upgraded file where I am just giving the definitions for all those particular functions. I can able to overload those functions. I can able to override those functions and any other operations I can. Okay. So now it is assumed that I have written the program. So now I'm just creating the objects. So to create the object, this is the standard format which I am following. So thinking underscore cap is the name of the class which we have given here. If you had seen this, thinking underscore cap, so this syntax should be the same, as we know that C++ or the Java is a case sensitive language. So we have to use the same syntax. And then this object we have created, and this object, this is the first object, this is the second object. We can say that these objects are nothing but the variables of those particular class. Thinking cap. Okay. So now this is nothing but the slots is nothing but the functions which is defined within this thinking cap. So I'm just giving the input to this slots as hello and goodbye. Hello will be coming at this location and goodbye is coming at this location. So at the location of green, we are getting hello, and at the location of red, we are able to get goodbye. Okay. So these are the two functions which we have created. The slot, two objects we have created, and slots is the function which we are sending the inputs through this to that particular declarations which is defined in thinker.h. Okay. So like this is the nothing but the name of object. You can consider student is the name of object. This dot is nothing but a period it is considered as, and this is the name of the functions. Okay. In which functions I have to write the data, for which functions I have to supply the variables or parameters that I need to specify, and here I am just specifying the contents. Okay, that is called as the arguments. Okay, this is nothing but student is nothing but the object. This dot is a period, and this slots is the name of the functions which is defined within this thinker.h, and these are nothing but the arguments. Okay. So similarly, if you don't have any arguments, then at that time directly I'm just writing it to be the student.push underscore screen. So here I cannot able to make any changes. I cannot able to supply any variables, and even I cannot able to change the implementation because the push underscore screen is a constant variable. So those values will be remaining as the same constant. Okay. If we are dealing with a Java, then at that time instead of constant, we are using the final keyword. Okay. So, and tell me the complete outputs. Okay. So what will be the output? It is nothing but, so it will initially print the hello goodbye. Then after that go poggers do and push green. So whatever it is a constant. So whatever the values which is putting there, that it is just printing. Okay. So this is nothing but the output. Okay. So this is student slots. This first will be printing. This afterwards goodbye. This is nothing but the way. So so from this we can able to know that what is the meaning of the objects and what is the meaning of the classes. Object is nothing but it is a real-time entity and it has the physical existence. And if you are considering the class, it is a blueprint or the templates used to instantiate the object. It means that to narrate the object, we require class. You know how to define a new class type. Okay, with the help of this class type, it means that we can able to define the class, the name of the class, and the functions, the member functions which are written within that class. And even we are also able to know that how to write a header file and how those contents can be accessed in other programs. We know how to use the header file in a program which declares the instances of the class type. It means that the object, how to declare the object, we are able to know. You know how to activate the member functions, how to call the member functions. So that also we had seen that the name of the object dot, then the name of that particular function. Okay. So the other things, how to declare the bodies and how to access those contents through the objects. So that is remaining, that we will see in the next session. Okay. I think this much is sufficient for the today's session. We will stop.